find it easier to watch people that I've met and they haven't been bastard. It's against everything they've ever done. I would just call someone a cunt for the sake of it.
What?
I did have a semi.
Yeah.
Rolling already.
Okay,
camera.
Have you?
Yeah. That's
Do you
like
have a-
everyone who's...
Which one? This one?
Classic.
G7X.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you use
Yeah.
that for the classic JAACKMAATE shot, or do you use that one for the classic JAACKMAATE shot?
What's such a classic JAACKMAATE shot?
Well, the shed comes.
Oh, yeah.
That G7X.
That one, yeah. That one. And then Tom brings his nice stuff and we do stuff with him.
Right, so
Yeah.
he's a smart ass.
Yeah, I ain't got a clue about him.
Really?
I barely know how to use that, mate.
It's touch. I mean, it's press and go.
Yeah. That's what I mean. That's how little of an idea I have about filming.
Oh.
I think you would be shocked if you knew how little I know.
I think that's quite an interesting way to start. And we'll kick off. This is the What's Happening podcast, talking to all the best digital entrepreneurs and people in the digital space across the world. Here with JAACKMAATE or Jack.
So you obviously couldn't get one of them today.
So,
Scrape the barrel.
But Jack was in London. So
I was about, yeah.
Although you did manage to completely fuck up getting here.
I know, I went to Finsbury Park instead of Finsbury Square.
Yeah.
I thought they're bound to be next
You
to each
presumed.
other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You massively
Why are they not?
It's a good question.
Yeah.
But I'm not 100% sure of the answer. But this is certainly not in Finsbury Park. We're in
No.
Moorgate come Old Street.
Yeah, I like it. I don't know if I did a campaign down there once, maybe, with David Seaman in a taxi.
Ooh.
Maybe.
Name
I
drop.
don't know.
It's an early
Well,
name
it's
drop.
David Seaman, mate.
Yes, it's not impressive. Okay, let's go. Let's go straight into it. Your YouTube has massively popped this year,
Right.
Hugely so. We met and have talked since Goat started about 3 years ago.
Yeah.
When you were sitting at sort of 250k, and you've
Right.
grown that over the course of many years.
Yeah.
And you're very, quite open to admitting it. You were kind of steady at that. You were
Oh,
getting
yeah.
a very, very loyal base.
It
of
didn't go
fans,
anywhere,
but
yeah.
you weren't moving.
Yeah.
And then the
Well,
last.
I should probably... You think I'd know, I've got my own podcast.
But the last 8 to 12 months has really popped, and I think
Yeah.
your content style, although was grating people for the years before,
Yeah.
now people have gone for the anti-YouTube stuff.
Yeah.
And you've become the baby face, the poster boy of that.
Yeah.
How has that changed for you?
I don't know. I think it changed when I did a little bit of growing up, and I realised that you shouldn't just slag people off for the sake of it. But if I would just call someone a cunt for the sake of it. But can I say cunt on here?
Yeah.
I used to just call people cunt for the sake of it. Now I call people cunts when they are being cunts.
Yeah.
And I think that's what I've said it too much, haven't I? But now I feel like people can obviously get behind that a lot more. And when a YouTuber makes a bad calendar, that helps.
Yeah,
apparently.
massively. And it did help.
Yeah. But you probably wouldn't be surprised to know how many emails I get now from people going, this YouTuber's fucked up, talk about this. And they do all the research for me.
The Keemstar model.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't necessarily know if that's what I want to do. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'll point out the glaringly obvious ones, but it's about finding the right fit for my channel. Because I've gone on this whole thing now about this whole YouTuber honesty thing, where we need to have this honest relationship with our audience. Do you know what I mean? So when somebody's messaging me going, I think this guy might be a paedophile, I was like, don't tell me, tell the police. There's a bit of a difference. But yeah, I can't remember what your question was, but I've gotten the paedophile. So where were we?
It's popped hugely in the last 12 months.
Yeah.
Holly, we've seen a lot of sort of fast-growing YouTubers over the last 12 months. Because Stephen Tries being one of them,
Yeah.
a good friend of yours, I know.
Yeah.
But there's very rarely a point where someone has been around for so long and then has kind of grown slowly, and then it just goes.
Yeah.
What do you think makes Jack's content different to lots of other people out there?
I think again it's probably like the honesty and the realness of it. I think everyone was very interested in YouTube to begin with, and watching little hauls and things like that, and then everyone felt very far removed from them. They felt that they weren't real people anymore, and the whole appeal of them was that it felt very authentic, and it felt like a friendship. It felt like these people, like so many people now say they feel that YouTubers are more like their friends than their friends are, and it suddenly everyone was kind of hit this plateau of like, oh, this isn't the same anymore. Then you came along and you're like, actually, Joe, I think that's bullshit as well. Or pointing the things out that so many people were thinking as well, but no one was saying.
Yeah.
Especially
Because
in the
everyone
public
was
eye.
in that niche, everyone was in those collectives anyway.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you're kind of calling that out as well. You're going, okay, well, why is he mates with him? Is it just because it's commercially beneficial?
Yeah,
I think you've become you've become popular in my eyes because now people are more aware that people make money from their audience.
Right.
And before they weren't, and therefore they're like, why are you calling them out so much? Why is it a problem? Why is it a problem? And you're like, it's a problem because they're fucking millionaires. And they're leeching this and this and this. And I get that, you know, we're part of that industry. We're a branded content industry. And your content is just a backlash to that. And you're like, okay, well, it's fine to be doing branded content like you do on your channel. And, you know, we've worked with the right people to get to the right audiences, but it's when they're doing the wrong things to their audiences that it's just wrong, and that's been a huge theme in the last 12 months.
For sure. I feel like what you were saying with the YouTubers being the best friend next door and all of this, because obviously I've been around a while and I've sort of known a lot of these YouTubers.
You're a wily old fox of the industry.
I've always kind of had that issue with it. I've always had that issue with as soon as the first brand deal started coming in, because when Charlie is so cool, like, I don't know if you remember him, he was a Charlie McDonald, one of the first ever vloggers, one of the reasons I got into this, when he was doing like the wine gum challenge, where he was just counting how many different colour wine gums he got in a packet, and there was no
the real like, pinnacle of YouTube.
there was no brand, they weren't on board with it, but he was very much like, oh, he's just a guy talking to a camera. And then there was that kind of honest approach to it. And then as soon as you're able to start making money from it, that's fine. Obviously, that's what we all do, and that's what I do. But there needs to be, like, I felt like they were being too subtle with it. Do you know what I mean? And then when all the laws came out for you have to put the hashtag ad, people found a way around that. And it's like, why do you need to find a way around that? Like, be honest about it. Tell people that's what you're doing. And who gives a shit? But and then it gets us to where we are now, where they build this big audience and they sell them a jumper with their name on for 50 quid. So how is that worth 50 quid? Do you know what I mean? But it's because it's almost like they've seen them. And I've heard YouTubers speak sort of behind the curtains and stuff, and they do treat a lot of their audience like customers. And of course that's how you run a business. But you can't do that as alongside pretending you're their best friend, because then that's where the word exploitation comes up. Do you know what I mean? Fine, you need to make your money. Fine, they are customers, but then don't pretend to be the best mate that they can call up whenever they've got a problem. Because when they do have a problem, they're going to try call you up or try email, and you're going to get your security to kick them the fuck out. So.
And what the problems that you find being on that side of the dice? So you've come at it at the not aggressive way, but the anti-YouTube side. So what the problem's been for the brand side of your business on YouTube?
Well, hardly any of them want to work with me. But the ones that do...
accept it massively.
Yeah.
And embrace it as well.
Yeah, and let me do what I want to do. And I feel like because I'm honest to the point of even like sometimes some brands will be so open to me just going, well, this brand gave me a shed ton of money, so check them out. My audience will check them out because they feel like they're with me. Do you know what I mean? They're not getting any of the money, but that's kind of why that works, and I think that works for the brand and for me.
Do you, Holly? We obviously work on lots of campaigns where audience targeting and that sort of space is really important. Jack's audience is hugely loyal. Interestingly, and having worked with you a long time now, is UK based. Male heavy, but it's skewed massively in the last 12 months to more females.
Now it's like 70% female. It's mad.
Why do you see that his audience is so, or that an audience like his is so much more engaged in brand products than lots of other guys who have got huge generalized audiences, and he's got a very niche audience?
Well, I think, again, it's the whole awareness thing. They're aware of what's going on now. People are very clocked onto it, and I think you have to move with the times. Beforehand, people were happy to kind of just support someone blindly, whereas people value that it is especially like the target audience that you have. They're so set on it being peer-to-peer and being friends and things like that. And it's the general characteristics of a friendship, which is what people feel with the YouTubers, is it's loyal, it's trusting and all of that, and that's what they feel they get from you. So I think that they value you, and they also can see that you're being honest with them. And with that kind of reciprocity, that then causes them to want to support you and want you to do well. And they want you to keep not so much calling people out, but showing that honest side. And I think they hope it will encourage other YouTubers as well. So
100%.
I think it's like a knock-on effect. It benefits them in their viewing, and it benefits you too.
Yeah.
I should have asked this before we started, but what YouTubers do you watch?
I don't know. I just end up kind of down weird like holes of like different like things, but
Yeah.
The old sidebarism.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure. It really depends. I think kind of like vlogs, things like that, things that aren't too like curated. I think things. I don't have
do you
like a
watch?
particular thing that I'd watch.
Do you watch the comedy? Do you watch Will Any? Obviously, the people that I know you're friendlier with.
Yeah,
Friendlier.
Yeah, I watch Will and E, Stephen Tries, True Geordie.
People are
Lawrence
doing
McKenna.
something slightly different to the norm.
Yeah.
Kicking back.
Yeah. I find it easy, and it's probably the same with you. I find it easier to watch people that I've met and they haven't been bastards. Do you know what I mean? Because I know there was people that were. I don't know if I'll know off the top of my head, but I'm sure in the past there's been people that have been friendly. I've enjoyed their content, then I've met them, not been a big fan of them, and then can't watch the content anymore.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Because we know that the content, therefore, is just a facade. It's just a character.
Yeah. And there's been times before where I've not, like the opposite of that, where I don't like somebody's content, met them, found them really interesting, and then I watch the content to try and work out what's going on in their head.
And then there's the ultimate thing, which is meeting someone, being friends with them, and getting their hair cut.
Yeah, well, yeah. There we go. No, yours is better than mine because I dyed mine white, but it's sort of just gone out now. It says permanent on the box, but it clearly isn't. And now I've just got this ginger thing going on. I'm trying to embrace it. But no, it looks smart, mate. You're going to start vlogging now,
Yeah. I've got a shed. But then YouTube, especially in the last 12 months, whilst you've been growing hugely, has taken a turn into doing different kind of products. So seen the podcast boom, which you did and got part of, and did very successfully as well in terms of guest wise, was incredibly successful. And let's talk about that. How difficult was it to convince traditional people, Eddie Hearn, Ricky Gervais, people that are working in the traditional media model, to do something so YouTube focused or so like new age? I
think it was really easy, but I think that's because those guests, they just get it. Do you know what I mean? Like Eddie Hearn, he does YouTube stuff all the time. Gervais will do anything if it's got the word YouTube or podcast in. That's his field. But the guests that I've had on there, a part of the reason we went for them is because they do stuff like that on a almost a day-to-day basis. I don't know how easy it would be to get somebody if they didn't already do that kind of thing.
And it's also about making that content enjoyable when they actually are there, if they're not comfortable in that space.
I'd like to think that I would only get people on that, with the exception of the Josh Peters thing, because the reason he was on there was to have an argument. But usually I would get people on my podcast that I genuinely feel I would get on with, because otherwise it's just going to be an awkward hour, isn't it? Like, as I'm experiencing now, because I hate you both.
You only met me 10 minutes ago.
And you've been kidding me that you tried me for years for money. Ricky Gervais, obviously the biggest name you've worked with.
Yeah.
Looked like the best hour of your life.
I did have a semi.
What was it like interviewing your hero? You'd obviously done it a few times before, but that was like a proper, like you'd taken it from sort of sofa media junket to this is your show, the JAACKMAATE show, and Ricky was a guest rather than kind of the other way around.
It was unreal. I couldn't quite believe I was sat there for the hour. He came to me, which was bizarre, mental. But yeah, I think with him, it was just finding that golden nugget. I know a lot of people are inspired by people, obviously, and I don't know if most people's heroes would be that willing to give as much time to me as he did, and he still does. Like, I'll ask him a question in the DMs, he'll be straight back telling me what to do. He's somebody that loves people starting a new thing and just going with it, because as I'm sure you probably know, he doesn't like this whole get rich quick Big Brother type models that we see today. So I think
he's massively into you because you've taken fucking ages.
But no, so he's all for it, and he's just, as I say, it's just one of those rare occasions where it just all falls into place. But no, it's good. It was,
and the podcast was a series for like 3-4 months. Now you're doing something else, and you've traditionally done lots of different series and tried lots of different things that almost, without it being very, very simply put, but like TV show style.
Right. Mm-hmm.
What's the thinking behind creating these series, and what's the success versus the content that you've been made, well, not famous for, but you've made your name from?
I just like making stuff that looks the part, and that can't just be done overnight. Because with my videos, what I've been doing for years is sitting in a shed and calling people out. And as much as that gets the views, and as much as I don't say anything in those videos that I wouldn't live and die by, it's pretty easy. Somebody fucks up, I turn on the camera, call them a twat or whatever other colourful language I decide to use on the day, and then get views. And that's not what I want my career to be. Do you know what I mean?
You're eating dinner. Alfie Deyes is fucked up again. Well, hold on. Put it to the side.
Yeah, get me on Apollo and I'll just slag off Caspar for an hour. That's not what I want to do. So comedy has always been my end goal. I've always wanted to be funny. And
you're still trying.
Yeah, still trying and failing because I'm here on this podcast. But so with those longer format things like the podcast and the new clickbait show, I just feel like that's content I'd like to watch.
Yeah.
So if I can create content that I would watch, then I'm not too fussed if anyone else does.
Because you believe that your audience is relatively similar to you.
Yeah.
And you've created an audience that's loyal to you, and therefore they've got a similar personality.
Yeah, I don't tend to explain my jokes anymore. Back in the day, I would make and I'm not the smartest guy, as you know, but I would write what I would assume would be a more intelligent joke, and then I would dumb it down, because there's kids watching me. Now I don't feel like that. I will.
You've got people with you.
Yeah, I will use subtle references and stuff like that, and they get it. And when I see somebody quote something in my comment section that's such a niche little dig at something or a reference, then that's the best feeling ever. Yeah.
And I know what, especially Holly will be interested in, and I've had a bit more exposure to over the last few years, is what does it take to make a video like that? Make a video that, the last year you've had plenty of videos hit the 1 million mark. What does it take to make a viral hit?
Well, for me, or on a whole?
Well, no, for you, like what's, because you're at a place where you were getting, hundreds of thousands of views, and now you've hit, Zoella's calendar helped.
Yeah.
There's no hiding from that.
Yeah. I'm the only person that got my money's worth from that calendar.
But what makes a viral hit? Like, there's so much laughing about putting your dinner aside and going, okay, this is the time to jump on it. But what really goes through your head? Do you write the jokes? What's the process? Do you practice hundreds of times in front of the camera before it happens?
I know it's going to be a hit if I'm on it straight away. So if it happens, then the next day I've uploaded, because I can be a lazy bastard who won't upload for a month. And then if you try and talk about something, obviously it's simple stuff. Being reactive obviously helps. I think another thing that I've learnt to do recently is inject just the right amount of humour in a video in which I'm essentially attacking someone for their actions. And just, I know it sounds obvious, but just say the right things. Because back in the day, I would just say, that guy's got shit hair, coming from me, it's mental. But I would just point out things that people can't help. And now you're pointing out things they're doing and things they can help and change. Yeah. That's what people, so I'm having better points, I'm thinking more about what I'm saying, and I'm adding humour to it. And that's where I think I differ from people like Keemstar, who are just
insult merchants.
Yeah.
So do you write the jokes? Is it all off the cuff? Do you put the camera on and just roll it and then just keep going? And
I write. People will be shocked to know I write it almost to the word.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm really surprised by that.
Yeah. A lot of people say that, almost to the word. Even to the bits where I'm like some of the things I've scripted, even when I say the wrong word and go, oh, I said that wrong. That's in the script. There will be times when it's improvised, when I say something off the cuff and I think it's funny enough to stay in, but I would say 85% of it is written almost to the word. And that's why it takes me ages to write the scripts, because I write them as I talk. So with like different inflections on the word and tone and delivery and stuff.
You a pen and paper man?
No.
You're typing it out.
I've got a computer, mate.
Yeah, brilliant, aren't they? Eek. Do you print it out?
Yeah.
Like, so is it?
Yeah.
Because I'm imagining like some sort of. So hold on. So it's printed out. So you're sticking it like.
No, I just have it there. I sometimes have it on my phone, but when I do the reaction videos, so I'll like watch a little clip, then I'll say a line. I'm not watching the video at all. I've already watched it. I've already cut it up. It's in Final Cut Pro. I've written my lines. So then I pretend I'm looking at my phone, but I'm looking at the line I'm about to say.
Nice. Okay.
And then I think the reason why, like, you might see a bit of like this woman talking about how she sleeps with her dog, and then I'll look to the camera and I'll laugh. And that's a genuine laugh because I've forgotten the line that's coming. I may have written that the next day, and I'll go, and then I'll laugh. So I don't watch the video up in my shed because it's far too hot in there to sit there and watch a video.
So you're a limited time man in the shed.
Yeah, I am in and out, and that's why I don't tend to make a lot of videos.
Why did you call it the shed when it's very, very clearly not?
Is it clear?
Yeah, very clear. I mean, it's got
my whole act gone.
It's got a window in the roof. You've got a barn conversion in the shed.
I don't know. I don't think you could see the window the first time. When I first started filming in there, I used to have it nicely framed, and now I can't be fucked. So I just get the tripod and you see what you see. But I just called it a shed, and it's stuck. And the amount of people that believe it, you'd be shocked by.
Really?
Yeah. They come up to me in the street. Why do you film in your shed? I don't. Fuck off. Yeah, but it's horrible. It's like a sauna up there.
Is it?
Yeah. It's weird because when I moved in,
Why did you choose it? Why was that the setting? Just because it was easy? And
it was up in the roof, so my housemates couldn't hear me chatting shit. And yeah, when I moved in, it was weird because it's like it traps the heat, and then in the winter it's really cold, and
just very
it's never
uncomfortable.
Good. Yeah, it's never good.
I didn't think of this until my sort of kind of weird uncle came round. But there's loads and loads and loads of plug sockets, right? And to us, we're like, okay, there's loads of plug sockets. Maybe it was an office. He reckons it might have been a cannabis factory.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, so maybe.
PG.
yeah.
The brands keep on
I'm
coming.
not sure if this is what you wanted from the podcast.
Going back to things that have changed YouTube for better or worse in the last 12 months. Boxing.
Yeah.
You've been outspoken recently on that.
Yeah.
What are your genuine thoughts on where it goes commercially, where this could potentially end up? Is boxing the extent of it? Are we going to see different? Are we going to see YouTube a total wipeout? Are we going to see is this going to be
I'm
a
sure
thing?
we will. Yeah, I'm sure we will. I like it. I'm glad that it's happened, and I'm for the first fight, the Weller KSI fight. I tried to play it cool. And I was not too fussed about that. And I got fully sucked into it.
Yeah,
and this time
I played it so cool. I got invited ringside and went, nah, won't be there.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Won't be that good. I was first on the phone. Anyway, you can get me.
I'm watching all the drama videos. If I see any video that
straight on it.
I'm straight on it watching it. I don't know, and I really haven't given it enough thought to probably give a proper opinion now. But I don't know. I'd be interested to hear what you two think. But what do you think about this being put behind a paywall now?
Well, it's kind of contradicting
what they're all about,
what their audience has grown from.
Yeah, but it is the natural progression, I get.
But they've got to show how YouTube can be different and how it can monetize. They're obviously, I think it would have been a worse hypocritical move if they'd have sold it to Sky, because then they would have gone, okay, well, yeah, we've got all this amazing audience here on YouTube, but we're doing this over here on something that's traditional, and that would have massively changed it. I think. So
what, it's still going to be on their channels?
It's not going to be on their channel. It's just going to be through one channel, KSI versus Logan,
right?
Which has now got 500,000 subs, and it's just going to be streamed through there for 10 quid, and then it will stay as pay-per-view for 2 weeks, and then it'll be uploaded. But just the paywall will be pulled down, and they're expecting about 100 million views once the paywall's pulled down on that video over the next year.
Right.
So you only pay to watch it live, and then you could watch
for 2 weeks
it
if you video on demand. So you'll for the 2 weeks afterwards, if you want to watch it back in full, then you'll have to pay the same price.
Oh wow.
It's iffy, isn't it? That is iffy.
Yeah.
Just because, as you said, it's against everything they've ever done. They're YouTubers.
Yeah, I mean, the difficult thing is, it is against everything they've ever done, and I'm on the fence with this as well.
Yeah.
But they've also never done a production anywhere near the size of this.
No.
It costs millions to put on something like this.
Yeah.
Put it in an arena, put the big screens in, put the
Yeah.
lights in,
Yeah.
get Michael Buffer to do it. You
Yeah.
know, like all these things cost a lot of money.
Yeah.
To do 2 press conferences, one in LA, one in London.
Yeah.
Like this is a serious operation. So have they ever charged for video content before? No. But have they ever done a piece of video content anything like this before?
But then would they have the massive audiences they do have if they were charging for their content from the start? They wouldn't.
No. No, and
So
that's...
this is I'm the same as you. I'm on the fence. I can't make my mind up about it.
I was shocked they did it at the price they did it at.
Yeah.
I thought they'd do it for £1.
Right.
Which I'd have gone, fair play, you found the hybrid. Everyone should pay £1
Yeah.
to watch a night of boxing
Yeah.
on YouTube.
Yeah.
People wouldn't have cared that much.
Yeah.
But I think their opinion is, if you're paying £1, why not pay 10?
Yeah.
But then it gets then you've got to remember, and when you're paying £10, that you're not watching boxing, you're watching YouTubers box. That's
Yeah.
a very different thing.
Yeah.
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 And you can buy a boxing pay-per-view for £20.
Yeah.
I can watch, like, I'm sure you watched Dillian White a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
And on the Chisora was on the card. You know, that was £20 buy
Yeah.
on, and that was fucking great.
Yeah.
And I knew I was going to get great boxing.
But then I think the audience, they know what they're going to get.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You're not going to get. I'm sure you'll get a handful, but I don't think boxing fans are going, well, I better get that. Do you know what I mean? It is the YouTube audience that are going to be paying for it. So.
And as a YouTuber looking on, are you excited by the prospect that this is where it's going?
I'm not that arsed.
Okay.
I'm not that arsed. I'm not involved, so they can do.
Or
what they
invited.
want. Yeah. No, I'm not that bothered. To answer your question.
But do you appreciate the?
Because I couldn't do it, could I? I couldn't put
No.
something
But
behind it.
like what you're saying before we went on air, like there's a potential, you know, for you to do TV, presenting, comedy tours, like
Yeah.
you know, there's all sorts of different things that you can move into. Now
Yeah.
this is only going to be paved the way by the guys at the top
Yeah.
doing something that breaks the mold.
I think that mold was broken years ago, though. Like what you see people like Jack Whitehall and even Gervais and that, they're coming over to YouTube and making YouTube channels.
But it's a very, very big difference for someone big to try and bring an audience and monetize it one way than someone growing an audience and then trying to monetize it in the traditional, where people don't believe in the new. They
Yeah.
always want the old, and this is kind of going fuck you to the old.
Yeah.
We'll do it ourselves.
Yeah.
And I've got I have a lot of admiration for that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. YouTube's won, hasn't it? Vloggers have won.
Yeah.
That's what's happened there. And you used to have old 65-year-old white men working for BBC, probably 6-7 years ago, didn't want anything to do with them. They're nothing. Do you know what I mean? They're just cretins in their shed. Some of us are. But yeah, they've won now. They've won. Like KSI and Logan are going to sell more tickets, or what? More people are going to watch it than the Mayweather fight. People are predicting. Do you know what I mean? It's insane. So
yeah, I'd be very surprised if more people watch it live than the Mayweather fight.
But overall,
Potentially.
but the fact that we're even debating it is fucking mental.
That's insane.
Yeah.
You know what I
They've
mean?
trained their whole lives for that, and we're going to watch YouTubers do it.
Yeah.
They've been
Yeah.
doing it for a few months.
The fact that we're even going, what one's going to get it is mental.
Yeah.
It should always be Mayweather. He's at the top of his well, not so much now, but you know what I mean. He's the biggest boxer on the planet, and KSI.
Yeah. He was good at FIFA in 2014.
Yeah, he got known for doing the rape face
Yeah.
when he was young. He's selling as many tickets as them now, and it is mental.
That's
but
insane.
fair play to him. Fair play to him.
So where's the career goal then? If you're looking
To
at
fight
those
KSI.
guys,
Yeah.
at Madison Square Garden,
Yeah, get absolutely battered.
but walk away with a sack of cash.
Yeah. No, I don't know. Comedy would be good.
Apollo, like traditional route, or do you want to do a pay-per-view YouTube premiere?
I couldn't. I don't think I could because
Really?
Yeah.
because it's like if I now released a book. Do you know what I mean? I could make some money, but overall I'm going to lose a
lose your
large
audience.
chunk of my audience.
That's
Yeah.
certainly a lot of respect from me.
Yeah. I can't release any merch for the foreseeable future.
You can, but you can release joke merch,
Yeah.
which I bought into massively.
Yeah.
And that kind of playing on the the irony of I slag off merch, I slag off YouTubers and what they do, their books, their calendars, everything.
Yeah.
You now you should
Yeah.
release a Christmas calendar. Like,
Yeah.
you'd really
Absolutely.
be missing a fucking trick if you
Yeah.
didn't do that.
Yeah.
And behind everything
Yeah.
should be a piss take on what
Yeah,
Zoella did, right?
me and Tom had spoken
Like-
about it, and our first idea we had was we was going to do an advent calendar, and in each door there was going to be a puzzle piece, jigsaw piece, and at the end it was just going to make a picture of me just sitting on loads of money, saying, you fucking wasted a month and 25 quid or something like that.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so as well.
Yeah.
I like
That'd be
that.
great. I think your irony has almost created a separate potential revenue stream.
Yeah,
Maybe
maybe I will.
maybe. I look forward to talking about it. But rewinding right the way back to when you started, obviously this year's been so great.
Yeah,
But it's been a bumpy journey throughout.
Yeah.
A lot of ups and downs, lots of questioning whether or not this is the right thing to do. How do you continually break down that barrier? How do you continue to get through and motivate yourself in your shed to continually make videos for people who at some points weren't watching it at the same scale that they were at other points?
the money, the brand deals. Like, I've always been lucky
So
enough
timing,
to
really.
yeah I've always been lucky enough to get the odd brand deal even when the views weren't in, probably because my channel has been so niche that you do have the odd one that wants to go down that route. And to be honest, if it wasn't for the money, then I'd have probably stopped it years ago. Now I have an audience and I feel validated now, so when I upload something, I know people are going to listen and care to what I'm saying. And what I like about it is they don't always agree with me, because that's not what I wanted.
And it's also not a human relationship. If it's
No.
just one.
Yeah, then the moment they all start going like, agree, then I'm just another Alfie Deyes. Like,
Yeah.
I've fucked up loads of times, and they tell me I've fucked up. But that's the point. Like, yeah. So I think when, as you'll know, when I was uploading and getting 30,000 views every video, I tried to keep a level head and think, right, before you started YouTube, 30,000 was a nice number. Like, that's more than most people. And I don't want to become big-headed and think, oh, well, I'm above that. But if you're going to make a sustainable career out of it, you can't do that on these 30Ks. And especially when I was uploading content and I'd get 60 comments. Some of them will be first. Some of them will be shit. And it's like, why am I doing this? And then a brand deal will come in, and that'll pay my rent for a month.
And it just motivates you again.
Yeah, and then that's why I'm like, okay, I will keep doing this. And it was then many years of not having a niche, not knowing what I want to do, just knowing I want to turn the camera on and talk, but not knowing really what about. And now I have that. I have the niche. I know what I want to do. People, and above all else, as much as I can put myself down and say, yeah, it was the money, now it's very much the other way.
Yeah.
It's I have an audience there that I can talk to, and that's why I want to do it. And that's why I don't have a schedule. Because if I had to upload every single Monday, I'll go looking for things to talk about, and I'll be scraping the barrel of, oh, that person didn't give a homeless person a fiver. Do you know what I mean? Now I'll upload when I want, when I have something to talk about. And yeah, and on the other side of that, I will upload if a brand comes knocking, because I do have to pay the bills as well.
Yeah.
So
And I think your audience, more than lots of audiences, understand that and respect that.
yeah.
But they
Yeah.
respect it because you've told them. You've
Yeah.
been honest about it, rather than just, oh, so, love this product because this is
Yeah.
this.
And
Like,
you're
you've
not
told
flogging
them.
merch
Yeah.
every 2 seconds.
Yeah.
No.
So it's like, oh yeah, okay, he's thought about this. I'm sure he's turned away a few that don't work, and
Yeah.
this one makes sense.
Yeah, exactly. And I think if I do ever do a stand-up tour, and then I'm going to charge for ticket price, that's a lot different, because I'm going out there and I'm performing, and you can come and see me. I'm not just going to go, hello, have a photo, fuck off. I'm going to hopefully give you an hour of something that I'm going to take years writing. That's the difference. And it will be me doing it. You will see me doing it. It's not you buying a book that's got Zoella's name on. Did she write it? Who knows? I'm there in front of you. You tell me if I'm shit.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So that's where it is. And I will 100% keep those ticket prices as reasonable as I can. Do you know what I mean? And then it might become as a bit of a shock to me when they go, well, you got to pay this person, you got to pay that person. But we'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
Yeah.
What about the mental toughness that you need as a YouTuber to keep going through? Obviously, the money is a nice thing that keeps the timing and it kind of revitalizes you.
Yeah.
But in those low moments when it's not going as well as you want it to, or as even worse, as well as it has been, how does that feel? because you're alone. That's the horrible feeling about being a YouTuber, right? You've got no one else to talk to. It's not like a business. I've got 2 other business partners. We feel the highs and lows together.
Yeah.
And we've got a team of 70 people that feel those highs and lows in different ways, but they feel them together. And unlike that, you've got nobody really that's in the same position as you.
Yeah. It's hard. I think all YouTubers look over their shoulder because I think a lot of us know that we've got a expiry date.
Yeah.
So we are.
And what do you believe that expiry date is?
For me,
for you and for lots of other people in the industry.
I think I've got another good couple of years because I feel like although I've been doing it since sort of day dot.
Christmas comes around every year.
Yeah. That's it, yeah. I only really started to grow when I got the boom in November, December. So I'm still very much riding that wave. So I reckon I've got another year or 2. But as I say, I want to do other things anyway. So if I can do that, then that's great. But it can be lonely. But then that's why if you surround yourself with the right people, they'll push you through it. Even now, mate, all right, I'm here, I've had a meeting in London today. As much as I like to give the big I am online, I'm doing this today, I'm doing that. Monday and Tuesday, I woke up and couldn't be fucked to do anything. So I sit there and play Fortnite. Do you know what I mean? And it's my girlfriend who will be like, come on, you've got an audience here, let's do something. Do you know? And then I've got Tom, who has been good in terms of let's do this next big thing, let's do that next big thing, because perhaps he needs it more than I do. Yeah. So if I didn't have him there going, can we do this, can we do that, would I do it? I'm a fairly lazy person sometimes, unless I'm fully passionate about what I'm doing. And as much as I love YouTube and love this audience that I have, and I'm grateful, I'm only 80% there now. I'm not 100% this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. Yeah. Wait for Caspar to fuck up. Do you know what I mean?
But he will.
But he will, and I'll be waiting. But yeah, so as soon as the next thing comes along that I'm majorly passionate about, then I just keep plodding along.
Do you think you could do it, Holly?
Oh, I don't know. The thing I find quite difficult about it is that it's not like you have a job and it's separate to you. Your job is your personality. Like you are your own brand. And that to me is, that's 24/7. You can never switch off from that. And that is what would worry me a little bit, is that everything you do, everything you react to, everything you say is your brand. And that is your job. That is your whole kind of livlivelihood. And I think that's what scares me. It's not a separate matter. It's you as a person. And
you also can't scale that because you can never scale yourself. That's what would scare me.
Yeah.
It's like, from what we've done, we've taken it from 3 of us to 70 of us because we've got a service, we've got a product that we can sell people. Whereas you can never be you and another mate. You can only scale as much as your audience scales, not as much as the business can scale, or the money can scale, and that would make me feel like hemmed in a bit.
But then you're very much more of a businessman than I am.
Yeah.
Like you're in this game to make money. And obviously I am as well, but money's not my main motivation.
Yeah.
It was when I first started, but now I have a little bit. I've realised it's not all that. I'm not that bothered about it. I would much rather have a career, and I know money comes hand in hand with that. But
that's what you're playing to. You're playing that if I get a career, money's going to be there with me.
Yeah. I watched an interview with Jerry Seinfeld a couple of months ago, and they asked him why he started comedy, and he said, because I wanted to be one of those guys. I wanted to be one of those guys, and I feel that that's where I am now. I want to be one of those guys. I feel like I've had so much help in hand, so much help from amazing people that I was never truly deserving of, to sit down with Gervais for an hour and stuff. So if I can validate myself and do that, as he thinks I can do it, and my family and my friends think I can do it, if I can get out there and then do it, then I've won. I've already won.
Can we expect to see JAACKMAATE being on the undercard of Ricky Gervais's tours?
I thought you was going to say a boxing fight. And I was like, fuck,
that would be great.
Yeah.
But like support, like he obviously, I went to his last gig and he had a young guy doing it. Yeah. Do you feel like that is, you do your own, and then that's like the progression into
I think definitely he's doing some like small shows promoting his upcoming tour now, and he's got a few relatively unknown comics doing it, and Yeah, I think I could get on there. I think he would have no problem with that. He's messaged me completely out of the blue a couple of months ago saying, "Have you started stand up yet?" And it's like, why are you messaging me that? Like, how have you got the time to do that? So I don't even think it's from a place of arrogance to say, yeah, I think I could. It's just based on experience. I pinch myself as much as the next man, but yeah, I could. I just need to get the hours in, really, and just start doing it, because I can sit here until I'm blue in the face saying this is what I'm going to do, but until I do it.
How long does something like that take to put together for people that have got no idea?
Yeah, I've got no idea, but I've recently met somebody that is potentially going to be my new manager, and she's like incredible. She knows what she's doing. We're meeting all the right people, and I mean, we've been speaking about this stand-up tour for maybe 3 months now, consistently, and we've only just got the theme. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I've now got to write an hour's material for it, work out where we're going to do it, why we're going to do it, who we're going to sell it to. So I think there's a lot to learn, and I think this time next year we should be now working out when is this going to happen. This next year is going to be very telling, I think.
And are you looking to do anything slightly different with the tour? So, with you coming from a YouTube audience, would you look to live stream nights on YouTube? And
yeah, I mean, it's an option for sure, but
to try and monetize it in another way for people that could, because you've got a lot of people in your audience, which I'm sure will never be able to get to a gig that you're touring in different places that they'll never be able to get to, or you'll have international fans.
Yeah, I mean, as you said, I'm not that bothered about the money side of it.
But less about money, but more about your
just showing that. Yeah.
Those guys have supported you for the whole time. There's people in America, I'm sure, have been with you right from the beginning, and they're like, "Oh, I'm sure Jack will always go on to be a stand-up," and then for them never to be able to see that. Yeah. Its probability says that you're never going to be a huge star in America versus the US, versus the UK, just because of your style. But they would love to be able to see you make it.
I would happily upload the finished product when I'm happy with it. But
like a DVD.
But I couldn't just
with the heckling just like cut in.
There'll be plenty of that, mate. There'll be plenty of that. I couldn't just upload the live stream. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to give people shit. That's the thing. I'm not gonna, even if it takes me another 5 years to do a stand-up tour, my audience may have dwindled by then, but I'm not just gonna jump on this bandwagon. I'm at the height of I'm getting all these subscribers now. Let's do a tour. Because if they come and see me and I'm shit, that's it. They're not gonna come and see the second one. And you fall.
And you're trying to create a long-term career here.
So until I'm 100% happy with what I have as a product, then no one will be seeing it, hopefully.
Jumping back to the calling out YouTubers, which I'm sure will be part of the tour in bits, or the world you've grown up in and lived in for the last few years, I'm sure will have remnants of that in the tour. What sort of backlash do you get from fans, from the YouTubers themselves? Like, how's that feel when you've said something, you've put it out there, and then is there any point in it where you go, fuck, I shouldn't have said that? Or does it even get to the point where you go, I should probably take that down? Probably in the early days versus now, because now you're thinking about it more and being smarter with what you're saying. But in the early days, I reckon there'll be times where you've gone, I should probably take that down.
There was loads of stuff in the early days because I didn't really think through what I was doing. Now, in the last sort of 24 months, and I mean, this clip could come back to bite me, but when I post a video, I'm 100%, I stand by what I say in this video. I watch it back. I think, do I believe in every point that I'm saying here? Yes, it's going up. And if I grow to change my opinion on that thing, I will make another video and I'll talk about it. I won't take it down.
Yeah, you did that recently.
That was your opinion at that point.
Yeah,
that's true.
So that's what I felt at the point. The fans that like the backlash of the other YouTubers' fans, I could not give less of a fuck about. I really couldn't. They tweet me in their hordes, and I feel that they hinder the person that they're defending more than me.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? They'll come and go, "You're a fag." It's like, well, what? Because you said nasty thing. Well, yeah, but you just called me a fag, and I'm not going to go on their level. But it's just, I'm not just turning on the camera and going, "Here are the points." I'm thinking about what I'm saying. I'm writing it. These people it's emotional response on Twitter. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah. So my points are better than your points until you script a video and come back at me in that way. You might have some points. But then, did you see the response from Caspar and Josh Peters that time? That's better than any video I've ever made for me, for my reputation, because it was so bad. Do you know what I mean? They didn't think that through at all. Josh Peters said, I went on his podcast, he tries to be this edgy guy, but he's not in person. So you're telling everyone I'm nice in person. Like, every point they made was terrible. And when I saw Caspar, I was actually down here actually watching a film, and I got a tweet. Somebody had screenshotted Caspar Lee's tweet, and it said, "Tonight I make a response." I thought, fucking hell, here we go. Like, he's got 7 million subscribers or whatever. So I'm refreshing it the whole time. And I'm in the cinema watching Ready Player One, and the video goes up, and I can't watch it because I'm in the fucking cinema. So I'm like, shit, what points has he got? And I didn't really like the film anyway. So the whole time I'm like looking down, I'm just looking at the response. But suddenly everyone starts laughing, and they're like, "You've won, mate, you've won." And I'm like, what the hell's gone on? Gone onto his video, looked at all the top comments, and they're like, "Caspar, you just look a fucking idiot." You're like,
he pulled that down, right?
Yeah, he pulled it down the next day and publicly apologised. And that's the thing. It's like, don't pull it down. If you mean it, then you mean it. But if you don't, then I hate to like go as black and white as say, I won, he lost, because we're not in the playground anymore. But that was very much what happened.
Yeah.
And his response done more for me than my videos did.
Yeah.
So, and you would be surprised at how many big YouTubers were in my DMs.
I wondered that. I wondered how often you actually do get people coming back to you, and what do they say? Do they say, "I don't really appreciate you saying that," or do they say, "Oh, I actually do see where you're coming from"?
Oh yeah, they back me, but they don't want to post it out there because they've got this brand to uphold. And it got to a point when I first started, I didn't want to slag off any of those guys because they were my stepping stone. If I fuck off them, then I'm never going to become a big YouTuber because they don't like me and they don't want me in their stuff. Yeah. And then I met them, realised they are all massive dickheads. I think it probably helped me, mate, that I was stuck on the same number for so long because I thought, fuck it, this is never going to work. I'll say what I believe. And now it's sort of just, as you know, it's gone from strength to strength.
That you had nothing to lose, effectively, and they had everything to lose.
Yeah, so I'm going to say what I think. But yeah, there's so many big YouTubers in my DMs that will never... I'd like to wake up one day with 10 million subscribers, slag someone off for the sake of it, stage something, and then see how many of them agree with me. Do you know what I mean? Because I'm the big YouTuber now, let's see if their opinions change then. Like, yeah, it's mad. It's mad.
What do you feel a different moral responsibility for things you say and do now that you have 850,000 subscribers versus when you had 100,000 subscribers? Is there a difference in that number psychologically for you?
Yeah.
And yeah, what does that actually look like? There's
a lot more pressure now because I will tweet close to the bone jokes now, and people take offence at them a lot more. If there was 4 people going, "Don't like this," but now it's 400, you think, fuck. Like, and that's annoying because I'm not the kind of person that will delete it. I'm not the kind of person... I mean, I delete tweets all the time, but only because I think they're boring.
And make spelling errors.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't want to be someone that deletes a tweet because it same as Gervais. Like, I hold them morals. That's why I admire him so much. But when you do have 400 people telling you that your joke's offensive, when it really isn't, then it does start to go against everything you believe in. You do sit there on the train thinking, shit, should I just delete this? Do you know what I mean? And that
more hassle than it's worth.
Yeah, exactly. But so now I won't tweet jokes that I think that could get some kind of backlash because that could be a career gone, and that's shit. Because that's the only reason I have any kind of career, because I say what I think.
Do you think you can handle the pressure, Holly?
Absolutely not. No way.
Why not?
I don't know. I think you have to have a very tough skin to be able to put things out there and not really care what people's reactions are. And I don't think that I would have the mental capacity to separate that. You know, I'd be like, well, you don't like this about me, you don't like this about me. Oh, maybe I am actually like that, or maybe I do actually do that. Do you know what I mean? I don't think I have that gumption to be like, no, I believe in myself, I think I'm absolutely fine, and you can have your opinion, I'm going to have mine. I think that is something that you get, that you have to teach yourself to have as well. Yeah. You've got to be pretty strong to be able to do that.
And you've got to have a decent support network. You know, having aligned yourself to Gervais and then him support you is a massive psychological boost. Your girlfriend you've been with for a long time and seen you right the way through this journey. That's another strong position in the support network. Tom, who has been with you for a
Yeah.
long time,
It
less
was-
of a sexual partner, but has been with you for a long time, and again has seen that rise and been mates with you for the whole time. That's important.
Yeah, yeah. It's weird, but the Alfie Deyes £1 challenge thing that he done recently,
That was class.
it's got to that point now where, because YouTubers make the mainstream media, a lot of celebrities know about it. And it just seemed like after I posted that video, there was a few of them in the DMs as well.
Really?
And they're all people, they're not just celebrities, they're people that I like.
Yeah.
And it's like, it
That's
must
really
be that
nice.
kind of, that niche. Do you know, like,
All got the same opinion.
yeah. I read an article around Christmas time which posted, which was subtly taking the piss out of YouTube, like some of the really cringy, like the advent calendar deals and stuff like that.
Yeah.
He was subtly punching at them, and I could tell, and I read it, and then once I'd done the Alfie video, boom, he popped up. He was like, I love it. And it was like, yeah, but I appreciate it, but he can't say those things, because I could see it in that article in December, but you could tell he didn't want to, because he's got a
brand
yeah,
himself.
so it makes sense. But if I can be the voice of that, then I'll happily be the voice of that. And what a great niche to be.
No, definitely.
So what's next? What's the short term? You've obviously got the long term planning, which is the tour and everything that comes with that. You've
Yep.
obviously done a bit of presenting work.
Yep.
And that's been successful. And you've got the personality and the gumption to do that. Is that the short term sort of filler whilst you come up with that material and write it?
Yeah, I've got loads. I'm doing loads. This kind of lovely lady I've just met is sort of forcing me to do stuff, which is mental.
Yeah.
But I've got like a TV show idea that we're pitching to a few different channels and stuff. Yeah, I've got a YouTube series that could potentially be coming out in December that could potentially be about an advent calendar. So I've got stuff going on now, which is mad. Yeah.
I mean, I think spinning the table on us.
Yeah.
You obviously are a YouTuber that gets brand deals and understands the mechanic of how that works. What don't you know about, or what don't you think you know about certain things that goes on in the industry that you might want to ask us?
Oh, I wish you'd told me this before I come in.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
But like, is there any point where I've just thought about it, it's like you're in a position where you always get this side of the table, and we're on this side of the table, and we're managing both your relationship and the client relationship. Like, what do you ever wonder why something happens, or why certain things happen, or why they want that?
Well, there's loads I don't understand about it. You'll just come knocking and say, this deal, is it right for you? And I'll say yes or no. Do you know what I mean? There's loads. Many moons ago, myself and Tom went to start an agency like this, and that obviously fell flat on its arse straight away. We had a good name for it though, but I can't remember it. Yeah, I can create a wave.
Okay.
Create a wave, but also create a wave. Yeah,
Nice.
We like that. See, that's enough to rival you, isn't it? Rip that logo off the wall. Yeah. How do you ever worry that like creators and stuff might? I don't know if they have that direct access to brands that you guys have, but do you ever worry that they'll try and cut you out of a deal?
Yeah, I mean that's always
Does it happen a lot?
Nah, it's more the other way around. Brands want to try and cut us out of the deal rather than the creator.
Yeah.
Right.
We almost provide the creator a bit of protection.
Yeah.
Because we're doing the deal with the creator versus the brand, and obviously sometimes the creator wants more control and they want to have contact with the brand, but I'm not so worried about it that way round. We're always trying to protect ourselves from brand to creator versus creator to brand.
Yeah.
But there's certain people in the industry that want to be more business-like and want to be put themselves forward, and even Caspar, who I do admire. I think he's done some smart stuff in the business world. He's invested in an influencer agency because he wants to get closer to that brand connection. And I do understand that if you're switched on and you understand that you could cut someone out to get more margin, because all that what extra shade is doing is adding a price, but they're providing a service to someone who they wouldn't necessarily be able to get in touch with before.
Yeah.
It's that chain, it's a supply chain that the whole world works around. And more times than not, if you try and fuck with that chain, you get fucked. Because if you try and go around us as a creator, you're only going to lose in the long term. You might earn $5,000 more that month because you do a deal direct with the client.
But then you won't be knocking on their door
I don't
again.
give a fuck about you anymore, because like, you're just going to screw me every time. Then you might lose tens of thousands of pounds over the course of a year. Like, it's just not worth it.
No.
So that's why it doesn't matter to us so much. But the other way around obviously matters a lot, because we don't want the brand having contact with the creator, because then we're just completely out of the game.
So then, do you sell the creators in right at the end?
Yes.
When you go when you pitch an idea or you go to a specific brand, do you already have a list of creators that you know are going to be fit for that? Or
we have it in our mind. So Holly works in the proposal team, which come up with those ideas and pitch those ideas alongside the sales team, and kind of display them in the right way. We give a cross section of influencers. This is a sort of style we're after. So if we're pitching to a menswear brand, then you might be in there because you've got a high male audience in the UK, and you might be in there as one of 3 people, like, oh, this sort of person. In our mind, we're like, if we get this, he's in. But the brand doesn't know that. We're very vague on that. We're like, this is the sort of thing, this is the reason why we're looking at these sort of people, because they've got X, Y, and Z demographics, they've got this style, they have done these deals in the past, all that sort of logic. But really, we're kind of banking these different people, and we've already kind of created the campaign in our head. But we protect that IP, because our experience and our data from what we've done before actually is the thing that separates us from other people, because we've done so many campaigns now, and we know what people deliver what based on data that we've got from them. Means that we can actually go, okay, that person's gonna be better than that person because of this reason.
So if you sell a creator in, and the creator doesn't pull in the numbers or the click-throughs that perhaps we promised, that's not necessarily, I guess, well, it can be, but it's not necessarily your fault. You might not have got the right creator.
We take the liability. We guarantee the numbers to the client.
But say you come to me and you say they want this many clicks, and I post the video out and I'm just not that engaging in that specific video to that specific brand, when usually maybe I can get them clicks. Does that then
That's the risk we take.
Does that then affect the brand coming back to you as an agency
of course,
again?
Right. Massively. That's the risk we take. We take the liability. And that's another reason why we're slightly different to lots of the other agencies who kind of put the onus on the creator. Like, you guys need to do this, this, and this. And we're like, we know you know what to do. And if you do it like you normally do it, we'll get this return, because over the last 6 times you've done it, we get an average of X and Y converts. So we base it off that, and then we can go, okay, fine, you go and do your thing within these criteria. And we'll get the return, and if we don't, then we take the liability, and inside the budget that we were assigned by the client, we'll have to go and find another thing that's going to make the numbers. Because we don't estimate things, we don't predict stuff, we guarantee it. So if we don't hit the 200,000 video views that we've promised the client, because you only got 120, then we're going to have to find, inside the budget we've been assigned, another 80,000 views from somewhere. So, but we're so confident within our own internal predictions based on data that we'd never get that wrong. But we're effectively playing the stock exchange with that. Like, we believe that we can outsmart the creator and the brand to the point where we can promise that, and all sides win. We take the margin because we've promised something and given the brand incredible value for what we're doing, give the creator their right price for what they're going to produce, and we take the money. That's the model. We're just a reciprocal that kind of fields the brand's opinion, and helps the creator get access to the money they would never have access to, because we're dealing with brands like Lidl, Apple, whatever, Foot Manager.
Genuinely think that, I was saying this to Brona earlier, I genuinely think with you guys I've probably earned more than any other agency. So,
but on a consistent basis, keep
it coming.
but the creators that we have good relationships with, and the creators that consistently perform will always earn more from us, because all we care about is the value return. And if you price yourself fairly, and that price could be 4 million quid, but if that 4 million quid equates to £4 million worth of brand value, genuine brand value through clicks, video views, whatever. I'll pay 4 million quid. But if your brand value is $5,000 and I pay you 10, I'm not going to use you again.
Yeah.
But if your brand value is 10 and I pay you 10, fucking great, I'll use it all day.
Yeah.
That's all we care about. So whether it's branded as JAACKMAATE, True Geordie, Will Any, I don't care. If your price matches your value in terms of return, we'll pile in. That's our whole model. Where lots of people are like, oh, okay, we know Jack really well. So, you know, it's easy. I just get a video out from him. Or I know Zoella's going to do this, and, you know, we've got a partnership with her management, so we'll just decide it to her because we get a kickback for 15%. You know, it's just bullshit. We're just like, okay, well, this channel on a consistent basis performs at this. We'll slide the money into that because we know that money equates to that, and the brand have bought that, and we take the cut. That's
Fair.
it.
Fair.
That's the model.
Nice.
So we're honest. We're completely transparent with brand, with creator, which kind of makes that relationship very easy to manage, all the way across.
Decent.
Good
There you go.
explanation.
Yeah, summed it up, mate. You know your shit. You're allowed to stay in this office. You've earned it.
Well, cheers for coming in. Appreciate
It's a
it.
pleasure, mate. No, it's been fun.
Lots of different things to cover, but I think we got to the bottom of quite a lot of different things.
Yeah, no, it was good. I enjoyed it.
Finish with your prediction for KSI Logan Paul, because I know this is going to go out just before that, and Jack can cut it up nicely.
Jake Paul's going to wipe the floor with Edgy.
Okay, yep.
And
Consensus is that's
the given, isn't it?
Yeah.
I would love to be proven wrong because I don't like Jake.
Stu, who we had on the podcast and will go out before this one, so I can say his prediction. He said he's probably going to win Jake, but don't underestimate Deji.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I mean, I can give you my prediction, but I thought Joe Weller was going to knock KSI out.
Oh, really?
So I know fuck all.
Call me Eddie Hearn.
yeah. So that's my prediction for that one, and then the main one, the one we care about. Logan's. I think Logan's got it.
Really? And what do you think he's going to wipe the floor with him, or do you think it's going to be late?
No, I might go all the
Or
way.
points.
Yeah, how many rounds are they doing? 5?
6 threes.
6. Oh yeah, I might go all the way. Logan's got the reach, and he does all that. Done a lot of wrestling and shit before. I know it's a lot different, but don't get me wrong though. My predictions completely contradict what I want to happen.
Okay.
Yeah, I want I want the English lads to win. But
why?
Because I just prefer them.
But traditionally, I suppose Logan and Jake kind of go into that commercial model that you on brand hate.
Yeah. I just think that as much as I've moaned and sort of slagged off JJ in the past, he's done everything right. And he's succeeded at everything he's done.
He's always provided value, both brand wise and also audience wise.
Yeah.
Always provided value.
So I look up to him in many respects. Yeah, he's fucked up. So is everyone else. But he
and trust me, you have.
yeah, 100%. But he has smashed everything he's done. And even if he gets knocked out by Logan, he is still a massive winner and made shitloads of money. So fair play to him. But then again, having said that, as much as I don't like Jake and Logan, they're entertainers. And if I was part of that,
almost the most traditional of children's entertainers.
Yeah. Perhaps they might think they're a bit more McGregor than they are, but if that was me in that situation, I would be handling myself similar to, more towards how they have been handling it, more to how JJ has. I'm just hoping that this whole thing hasn't gone a bit above him now, and he's let his ego run with him. But I want the English lads to win, but I think the Americans will.
Interesting.
There we
Thanks
go.
very much.
Nice one.
Thanks very much.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers.
Nice
Cheers.
one. Cheers.
Nice to meet you.
Perfect.
Smashed it.